Hi there, I'm Sawyer, the Senior Project Manager here at ARC Technology, and today we are going to show you ARC Virtual Office Space. It's something that we started working on during the initial phases of the pandemic, and really what it was designed to do was bridge that gap between the vulnerabilities and insecurities of using VPN access to remote in and connect to your computer at the office. This would eliminate all of that. You end up with your servers, your desktops, everything co-located in a data center somewhere, anywhere around the country, and then you would remote into it using an iPad, a Chromebook, Windows PC, a Mac, and have that same unified experience across all platforms. Be able to log in with one username and password, have modern authentication for that extra layer of security, and then no VPN access. So you're really eliminating those insecurities you have when you, currently most people when you are remoting in from home, you're using a VPN and then you're remote desktoping into your computer at the office. Back in the day, that used to be fine because pre-pandemic, usually you were being given a company laptop or something that was locked down and managed by IT. Well, we have had to adapt to that so quickly, a lot of people are using personal devices to do this, which means the IT has set up the client VPN on an insecure device and is bridging that network, your home network, with the network at the office. Already insecure enough. But then you factor in the fact that your kids are distance learning. Their devices are on that same network. They're not always the best at what they do on the internet. So what we've designed is a solution that's single sign-on, uses modern authentication, no VPN access, but gives you that same experience you would have as if you were in the office today. And that's what we're going to show you. It's pretty cool the way it works, so let's just get started. So all you would need to make all this work is just a browser-based anything. Again, Chromebook, iPad, whatever. As long as you have a browser, it's going to work. You go to your main branded sign-on page, and in our case, it's branded ARC Virtual Office Space because, again, it's our office space, not anyone else's. So let me sign in. And this is always the part where you're going to get that phone call as an IT provider. What's my password? And this gives them the opportunity to, if I can remember my own password. So you're going to put in your main credentials. This is all synchronized with Microsoft 365. And that's the big thing here. It's all Microsoft 365 backended. So that you need less servers, less infrastructure to make this really possible. So I'm going to sign in. When you sign in, you're given a push notification. And when you're setting up your new users and things like that, they'll be forced the first time to set up their push notifications. It can be a text message, a phone call, the same thing, what people call two-factor authentication. It's modern authentication. So in this case, the way I have mine configured, grab my cell phone. I'm presented with a screen that says send me a push, call me, or enter a passcode. And in my case, I'm just going to have it send me a push. So when I click that, I will get a pop-up on my phone. That's Duo, look at the phone, tap it, approve or deny. I hit approve. It signs me into a splash page that has all of the applications available to me to launch on any device. And so in my case, I want the full desktop experience. I was just working in QuickBooks. I had Teams open, Word, my Outlook. I just want to get back to work. So I'm going to launch my full desktop. And I already have it loaded, so I'm just going to launch it from the desktop. And it's the same thing. It's going to load, give me a connect screen. I put in my password. And I'll get a push again. And this is where that extra layer of security comes in because we are not using VPN access. So we're really relying on modern authentication. So I'm going to get another push. I tap approve. And then I'm going to be presented with the desktop that I had open in there when I was using 3 screens. So my office, we're out here in the lobby right now. And I have QuickBooks open. So I've got QuickBooks open, Word. So let's just say, hey, Charlie. We're signed in as Charlie right now. It's a kind of an inside joke around here. And then, I'm at work. I've got everything going that I want to do. Well, I have a meeting to get to, but I still want to kind of work in that meeting because we're always trying to multitask. But I'm going to need to be present. So in that case, I'm going to pull my iPad out, pretend like I'm taking notes, and then just get to work. And so this is where it's really cool because you have the same level of experience you do on your PC or your Mac, but on an iPad. And so I will pull that up. And so that same screen that you were presented with on the PC side that had all of your apps and everything, you're presented with that here. And on an iPad, it's even simpler. You don't put your password in. You approve everything with push notifications. So I'm going to tap on my desktop. It's going to start loading. My phone will go off here in a second. Now again, I'm on cellular connection with this iPad, which means that it's going to be a little bit slower. But I got a push notification, and I'm going to approve it. It's going to load my desktop here, kick me out over there, and there's the same document we had open. It says, "Hi Charlie," or "Hey Charlie," in this case. And because I'm on my iPad, I can, if I wanted to get back into QuickBooks, just minimize what I have open and go back over to QuickBooks. And I could be working in the middle of my staff meeting when I'm supposed to be paying attention. But either way, we'll go back over to the Word document just for this kind of demo to understand what it really is all about. And I'm going to edit this document if I can click correctly. So I'm going to open the keyboard, and then I'm just going to update my document. I added "that's cool" to my Word document. I'm going to go back over to the computer, and again, launch the same experience using push. Put in my password again. It's going to connect. I just got a push notification. I'm going to approve it. And then it should pop up my desktop. It kicked me out off my iPad, so you can see it just signed me out. And there's the same document I was working on for my iPad. It's a pretty cool platform in the sense that this is scalable. So unlike most, I can go to 3 screens from here. So the final piece of this is something that we got a lot of feedback when designing this whole solution. The big thing when people remote in right now using VPN access, which is again insecure, creates this vulnerability between your office network and your home network, or this coffee shop, or wherever you're remoting in from. I want all my screens. And that's the one thing when you went from working from the office, you had these great setups, 2, 3 screens, 4 screens, but then you went home and your IT guy sent you home with this dinky little laptop that doesn't help you. Well, now with Arc Virtual Office Space, we can support that infrastructure. So your IT guy could send you home with 2 to 4 screens and your laptop, and it doesn't have to be a powerful laptop, it can be anything. Set it all up at home and you have that same experience. And say you had just 2 screens at home, and in this case we're using 1. So now we're going to go walk over to, we're going to take this same environment that we're logged into right now and go log into my desktop here at the office that has 3 screens and see what it transitions like. You really have this kind of, it's hard to discern which environment you are in. So it's really cool, so let's go check it out. All right, so we're back at my desk, and I have, I transitioned back. I'm out of my meeting. I was working on things, should be doing other things, but I wasn't. I have the work I was doing. Now I'm back at my desk, and I just want to get back into it and really see what it's all about. So I'm already logged in because I use Virtual Office every day, and I'm going to launch my desktop. It's going to prompt me to put my credentials in one more time. Again, all about security with Arc Virtual Office Space. We have eliminated that VPN connection. Well, in order to do so, we had to add extra layers of security. So I'm going to put my password in one more time. And then, again, push notification. I'm going to approve. And this is what's unique about Arc Virtual Office Space. We can support so many different platforms, different screens. You can carry it over your conference. It just kicked me out of my iPad. Now it looks like, okay, great, you've got 1 screen. That's what most people are familiar with this kind of remoting in experience. But I actually have 3 when it will launch. And so the same document I was working on, I've got QuickBooks open over here. I want to check my email, can drag that over. And as you start to use it, your desktop remembers the customizations. So as you start to lay things out the way you want, as you transition from device to device, it's going to remember the way you had laid things out. So really, it kind of learns from you. And it's all back-ended in Microsoft. And that's the big thing that makes this kind of product super streamlined and flexible and scalable is the big thing. Once you're in the Arc Virtual Office Space environment, when you go to add a user, and this is the big thing right now with just pandemic times, is the need to scale up quickly and scale down quickly. All you have to do is add a Microsoft license and a user and put them in the right groups, and they're automatically provisioned with a desktop, access to everything they need, streamlined billing, it's all in there. And you have access to your Microsoft setup on 5 different devices. You're licensed to use it on all your iPads, your Chromebooks, all of that. But again, all in one place, and it makes it predictable. The same thing goes that, all right, you've had to let a few employees go. You can disable those accounts, convert them to shared mailboxes, get rid of the licensing, and your cost goes down. But then the big one we use as an example are accounting firms. So they tend to scale up around tax season. They hire on a bunch of temps. It's a lot of work to manage from the IT standpoint as well as the client. They've got to do training. There's a lot of work involved anytime we go to give someone a new desktop. We don't have to give them new desktops. They can bring their own computer to work, or that 5-year-old computer you've had sitting in your server room. Just plug it in. As long as it has Chrome or Internet Explorer and it's somewhat up to date, they can launch our virtual office space, sign in, and they're presented with a modern desktop that is constantly updated. You're never really out of loop with where the current technology is. So one of the big things we focused on when designing and implementing Arc Virtual Office Space was this concept. So Roger Lawrence and I, the Director of Technology here at Arc, I think it was my second day here, we started talking about the whole work from home, distance learning that was going to happen because schools were getting ready to open up. And in our case, not. They were going to be opening up to hand people Chromebooks and then set you free in the wilds of your own internet at home. Well, the difficulty with traditional VPN access is it creates this tunnel between your work network and your home network. You may think, oh, well, big deal. I've got passwords for that. Passwords really, in this day and age, don't really do much if you're not using modern authentication. All it would take in that case is say that your IT, because everything had to adapt so quickly if you think about the pandemic, you called your IT and said, I need access to the office. I'm using my personal computer. Well, that computer doesn't comply to the same security best practices and standards that an enterprise machine at the office would. So you started storing credentials on that. Well, one of your kids is browsing the internet and downloads malware and their machine gets crypto locked. It's on the same network as your personal computer that you're using to connect to the office. Your machine gets crypto locked while you're on the VPN, authenticated to shares. Then the office gets crypto locked. Suddenly this one incident of your kid just doing something on the internet took down the entire office and now you're responsible for that. Well, with Arc Virtual Office Space, there is no more VPN. We've eliminated that. And that's where we use things like Duo, modern authentication with Microsoft 365 to eliminate those needs. And it just takes it one step further to this simplified single sign-on access that this is able to provide. Well, thank you for spending a little bit time out of your day to see this awesome demo. We are super excited about this product. Really think it's going to change the way that businesses do business and give you that opportunity to focus on scaling and not so much overhead. So thank you for spending time with us again. And if you're interested, give us a call.